Hello, my name is Joshua Tellison, and today I will be giving my cybercrime presentation for the computer forensics course that is taught by Mark Stockman. Today I'm going to be reviewing the computer crime case of U.S. versus Meydbray. To give you an overview, Roman Meydbray was formerly employed by Creative Explosions Incorporated. They are a software company, and they had employed him as their IT manager and also their network manager. After being terminated from the company, Meydbray decided to hack into the network and destroy some things on the network, and this was within 2 weeks of his being terminated. Later, Meydbray pleaded guilty to charges of gaining unauthorized access to their network and of recklessly causing damage. I'll give you some details of the attack. Meydbray broke into the Creative Explosions network from his house, and once he was in there, he decided to delete the cestream.com domain from the mail server, doubtlessly causing a lot of problems. After that, he proceeded to access email accounts, and he went and hacked into the email account of the president of the company and was looking for information as to whether they'd caught on to his intrusion and what they were doing about it. He later claimed that he was trying to find out about some personal matters by looking through the boss's email. After he read the boss's emails, he changed the configuration settings on that email account so that the incoming emails would be rejected by that mailbox. And while he was in the network, he also changed several passwords and altered permissions on folders. Later in court, he did plead guilty to causing upwards of $10,000 in damage to the company. About the investigation, the investigators tried to look for some anomalies in the log files of the affected machines of the company, and it wasn't a very complicated forensic investigation. I guess he didn't cover his tracks as well as he could have. They eventually ended up tracking down Meydbray through his IP address. His ISP gave up his IP address and where he lived to the investigators, and they tracked him down and seized his computer with a federal search warrant. After performing a forensic investigation on the computer, they determined that he had in fact attacked the Creative Explosions network. Some of the charges brought against him: he was charged with 1 count of unlawful access to stored communications, which is a violation of 18 U.S.C. 2701. He was also charged with 1 count of unauthorized access into a computer, recklessly causing damage, which is a violation of 18 U.S.C. 1030. The maximum penalty he could have received was up to 5 years in prison, $250,000, or twice the gross gain or loss of the company, whichever was greater. And as I said, he caused about $10,000 in loss. He could have received up to 3 years of being supervised after his release. He also had the option of having to undergo a special assessment, which cost $100, and any extra restitution is defined by the court. The verdict eventually was reached, and he was sentenced to 4 months in home detention while wearing an electronic monitor. He had to perform 200 hours of community service, and he was on a 3-year probation, during which time he was not allowed to access the internet or use any internet-enabled device without prior approval from his probation officer. His case was investigated by the FBI and was overseen by the Computer Hacking and Intellectual Property Unit of the United States Attorney's Office for the Northern Division of California. And another thing I'd like to point out was that he could have been, it wasn't specified, but he could have had charges brought against him by the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, because he caused over $5,000 loss, and he intentionally, knowingly transmitted a code, program, or command resulting in damage to a protected computer, the computers and servers in the company are protected computers. He did not have access, and that would also go under unauthorized access that caused damage. So here are some of the sources that I used for my presentation. Thank you very much.